Okay, we're live. 1 second, let me just get my app to talk. Hey Amazon, welcome back. I'm so excited to introduce you to Chandra Bloomberg today. She is one of my favorite authors and a repeat guest on the show, so welcome back. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks for having me. I love being on this show. So, yes, I'm Chandra Bloomberg. I write fun and heartfelt contemporary romance. I'm the author of the Taste of Love series, which is these two books. Like she
Yay.
just joined. Digging Up Love is the first, and then Stirring Up Love. And they both take place in the fictional town of Hawkesburg, Illinois. They both have a culinary theme. So yeah, Digging Up Love came out in January. That was my debut, and Stirring Up Love came out last month in July.
Oh, well, congratulations. These were such great books. If you guys have not grabbed these and started reading them yet, I've got them pulled up below. You can grab them in paperback. You can grab them in your Kindle. And I think these are in Kindle Unlimited. Am I
They
right?
yes, with the audiobook included, which is really
Ooh,
nice.
hey. That is
Yeah.
one of the perks of that publisher that I do love all the Audible. I'm obsessed with Audible books right now, and I feel like Montlake is killing it with all the Audible. Like, just anytime I see it, like Kindle Unlimited, the Audible, I'm like, yes, another audiobook to just basically eat. And so, how was this writing process for you for this series? How tell us a little bit about your series.
So yes, like I said, they both have culinary elements. Digging Up Love is on the sweet side because it's about a baker, specifically a cookie baker. And she is living in a small town, but she really has her sights set up on opening a cookie shop in Chicago. And the unique twist is that there's a dinosaur bone discovered in her backyard. And so there's a big city paleontologist from Chicago who comes to check out the find. And their love story unfolds from there. But with Stirring Up Love, it's also foodie romance, but it's on the savory side. So there's a barbecue restaurateur, and she wants to take her sort of small town barbecue restaurant. She loves the small town, but she wants to sort of expand, sell their barbecue sauce. And so she goes to a farmer's market to sell her sauce, and who's there but a chef who's got his own brand of barbecue sauce to sell. And so Stirring Up Love is sort of this spicy rivals to lovers rom-com. It's got a road trip, it's got a reality show element. So
All my
really.
favorite tropes, all my favorite tropes, all in one there. So there you have it. This is going to be fantastic. Do you have to, are they standalones or do you have to read them in order?
They are standalones, but if you're someone who likes to read a series in order, definitely start with Digging Up Love because it sort of leads into it, but you can totally grab Stirring Up Love and start from there. They're sisters, so you've got like the family element. They're both in both books.
Awesome. Well, where did your love of reading and writing begin?
So I would say, for as long as I can remember, really, I grew up just like I loved the library, always was leaving with stacks of books. And then I wrote a lot, like, I'm probably going to age myself with this, but I remember when our family got our first computer and we all sort of huddled around it and we're learning how to use it. And like my favorite thing was just getting to use the word processor element and like write my own stories that way. And I had a lot of fun with that. I always sort of, even as I had other things that I wanted to do with my life, other dreams for careers, I always was like, and I'll be writing a book on the side, even if I didn't do that. So it's sort of always been a part of my life, and it's sort of a dream come true to have these two books out in the world.
I love that so much. I'll always have a book I'll be writing. I love that. I love that. Well, what are you currently working on right now?
So I am currently my current work in project progress is second chance love story, which is really fun for me because digging up love was sort of the insta love, and then stirring up love was the rivals to lovers. So this is a new trope for me.
Ooh, that is so exciting. I cannot wait for more of that. So, when you were writing these books, do you typically have all your books take place in the Chicago area, or are you branching out? I know that that's like your spot in these books, but where do you like how much research goes into these two, because writing the dinosaur book had to have been hard. That was a lot of
Yeah.
terminology and things. I bet you had some fun researching that.
I did. I had fun research, and I feel like any book, even if it's something that you think you know backwards and forwards, unless it's like your exact profession, and even then, if you've been doing something else for a little, it takes research, regardless, whatever you're writing. So I do love the research element. I am a Midwesterner, so I feel like these have that Midwestern element. I feel like it's probably most of my books are going to have that, but I might branch out. I mean, I love reading books from everywhere. So I think that's one thing, is that I really want to transport people with my stories. Like Stirring Up Love has this road trip, and I loved getting to feature all these other places. So
Mhm.
yeah, setting is really important to me, just making that sort of it's almost like a second character when you get these really cool settings. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with Stirring Up Love with this sort of cross country road trip, even though logistically it was kind of tricky, but it was fun.
That is tricky to write a road trip book. I have one, and you got to keep track of all the cities and the time to get to each one, and you have to kind of map it out. It's tricky. So you did such a good job with that. What are you currently reading right now and loving? I know you sent me a great list, and a lot of them I've read too, and that is on mine as well. If
Yeah.
you don't remember, I can go through them.
Well, so I am reading right now. I know because I love to read at breakfast. Like I get up, breakfast is like my me time. I get up before my kids and I want to write, but I also am hungry. So that's sort of my reading time. So I was reading A Proposal They Can't Refuse by Natalie Kanya this morning. I'm
So
sorry
good.
if I'm saying that wrong, but I'm loving that one. It's got the foodie elements. It's a Chicago book. And it's the enemies to lovers. So yeah, I am loving that one currently. I'm also reading The Accidental Pinup by Danielle Jackson. That's another Chicago.
Isn't
Yes.
her cover
Gorgeous
so
cover.
fun?
Yes.
So fun. She's great.
Yeah. So those two are great.
I love that. And then you had some others that were so good as well that I hadn't heard of either. Um, Sweeter Than Honey and Just for Show.
So Sweeter Than Honey, I'm listening to on Audible because that's another Montlake title, so that's great to have the Audible, and I love it. Joy Avery writes that small town romance, and it's North Carolina, and it's about a baker and like the town sheriff, and it's hilarious. I've just been as I'm listening to it, I'm laughing. So people are like, but I'm usually in my house folding laundry or something. And then Just for Show again, I'm shouting out to all these Chicago books. It was not on purpose. I'm realizing that now, but that is sort of like an HGTV element. This guy, he has his show and he renovates homes, and there's an airplane meet cute, and there's Twitter in there, so it's got a lot going on. And I had a lot of fun reading that one.
A lot of books take place in Chicago. I love it.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of there's a lot of
A lot of
Chicago.
good stuff in Chicago. Well, I was interviewing Danielle yesterday, and we were talking about Chicago in there, and we were talking about your book, and I'm like, I have her on tomorrow, and your book was one of her books that she was reading too.
Nice.
I thought that was really funny. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
you guys know each other? That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, Chicago authors. It's great because here we have Love Sweet Arrow, which is sort of there's only two that I know of, although I think there might be more opening, but romance only bookstores in the US. And so we have one of them here in Chicago. So it's great because we get to go in there and hang out and
That's
meet
perfect.
readers and bloggers. Yeah.
I'll have to go next time I'm in Chicago. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
great.
and some other books that I put on here that, because I always put some of my favorites too. And I don't know if you've read them, but well, it's a Lake Union, but it's similar. And
Oh,
He's Up to No Good. This one's really good too, and you can listen to this on Kindle Unlimited as well. Really funny. Sarah Confino is really a funny author too. Uh,
yes.
she writes really funny things. So I also like to ask our authors, what are you watching right now?
Ooh, so I started watching I think it's FX, but I'm watching on Hulu, The Bear. Which is, yeah, I started watching because people were saying that Finn, the love interest in Stirring Up Love, it reminded like he had Carmy vibes.
Yep,
So I
I've heard.
started watching it, yes, for that reason. And then I just started watching. Oh goodness, Partner Track on Netflix. It's about a lawyer. So I just started. I'm enjoying that one as well. Just to watch one episode, but I
So
don't always have a lot of time for TV, but I
yeah.
try to.
Someone else told me that Finn reminded me of the bear too. And so isn't that crazy that they see that, but you've never seen it and you just wrote the book a long time ago.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it didn't come out, I think, until this summer. Yeah.
Yeah, but that means you develop such a unique, solid character that people see him in other places. And that's kudos to you for that character development because that's like a in-depth character.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, well, I always have an Audible going, a Kindle book going, and a physical book going because I'm ridiculous like that. Yeah, so what's next on your TBR?
Ooh, what's next? Let's see. I feel like let me, sorry. I'm not great at remembering what I have coming up. That book that you showed, She's Up to No Good, that is on there. Oh, Big Chicas Don't Cry.
That's
Um,
on too.
the
The cover is so beautiful. One of the most beautiful covers I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that one's great. Circling Back to You. I just got that from the library, so I'm
Yeah,
excited to dig in. And when they're from the library, I feel like they go to the top of my TBR because I'm like, I gotta finish this in time.
gotta take that back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and Luck and Last Resorts.
Yeah,
So I'm reading right now Love Lists and Fancy Ships, which is her first book, and then Luck and Last Resorts. I just got from. I'm like, wait, I got this from the library. I'm still working on the first one. This
oh,
always happens. I'm like you. I have multiple books going at once because sometimes I have left my paperback at home, or I have a minute that my hands are busy, but I can listen on
yeah.
Audible. So it's like, yeah, I've always got multiple books going.
Yes. I love that. Well, what advice would you have for aspiring writers?
Um, so I am a mom of four. I know you're a mom as well. So my biggest advice is to not worry about perfection, which is what I always come back to because I think a lot of people sort of have this idea that when they sit down to write, they have to have their hot cup of coffee. They have to have, their playlist going, which playlists are great. I love them. They're awesome. And they do help. But sort of, I feel like it pretty much doesn't exist, that perfect writing environment. Like you might get it, once a month or something.
Yeah.
But to just write whenever and wherever you can, because it adds up. It might feel like, you're only doing 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Am I ever going to write a novel? But if you continue doing your little moments of time, when you can find them, you'll find, in a year, you can easily write a book if you're not tied down to the idea of having that perfect writing time.
Yes. Yes, that is perfect advice. Well, where can we find you and support you online?
So always my website is a great place to start. It's chandrabloomberg.com, like my name. And there you can find a sign up link for my newsletter. And I do giveaways. I'll share book news, event news. So that's a great way to keep in touch. And then also on Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Chandra Bloomberg. And on Facebook, I'm at chandrabloomberg.author. So those are all great places to stay connected with me.
I love that. Well, this has been amazing. If you guys have not read her series, grab it today. Get started. You will love this. And be sure to follow Chandra here on Amazon as well so that you don't miss out on any of her upcoming releases. I know she's got some fun things in the works, and I cannot wait to read more from you. You're definitely an auto buy for me, and it was just so lovely to meet you in person as well. So definitely check out Chandra and her books. And thank you so much for joining me today. This was so much fun.
Thanks for joining me. I had a great time.
All right. Stand by one moment. Amazon, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit the follow button. We have more lives coming next week. Bye, guys.